Excellent work today, Professor. Though our victory should come as no surprise.
It was easy.
Yes, it was. Further proof that you're well qualified to guide the Black Eagles.
That was impressing, Professor. Impressive. We gained a victory because of your great leadership.
We certainly did. We all tried our best, of course, but we couldn't have won without you.
I was curious what it would look like if you did not hold back, and you did not disappoint.
I dare say we owe our victory to Lady Edelgard.
How so? For that battle, she was only a soldier following our professor's command. Sure, she was an incredibly powerful soldier.
Don't worry about it too much, Linhardt. All that matters is that we won.
I'm all done with being on the battlefield, okay? I'd rather stay back than pursue victory out there.
You were all as ridiculous as always. We only managed to win because we worked together. Was it something I said? Is it so odd, me talking about togetherness? If so, that perception must change. In fact, I'm canceling the festivities so we can discuss this topic further. I'm kidding, of course. Come on, everyone. We've earned this celebration.
Your work with the students was remarkable. I can see Geralt trained you well. I do hope you were able to use the occasion to bond with the students.
I did.
I'm so happy to hear it. Nothing would please me more than if you used this coming year to grow closer still.
Of course, the mock battle was mere practice. The real fight is the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, which will take place during the Wyvern Moon. You are expected to properly train your students so as not to humiliate the Academy during the long-held tradition that is the coming battle.
As for today, I have called you here to tell you of your mission for the month ahead. Your class is to dispose of some bandits causing trouble nearby.
Bandits?
Those affiliated with Garreg Mach Monastery have a moral obligation to help those in need, regardless of social standing. Students are no exception. Each month before the newly birthed moon departs, each house of students must complete their assigned mission. You shall work to complete the task at hand alongside your students and report back to the Archbishop before the deadline. Understood? I will soon provide you with the necessary details for your first mission. If I told you now, I expect you would only forget, and I despise repeating myself.
I can sense something special within your heart. I have high hopes for you.
Bandits, they say. Do you recall when we first met? You shall not fall so shamelessly again, correct? Have you no words for me? Do not tell me that you are shocked to hear from me. You ought to know that I am always with you now. To hear my voice should not come as a shock.
Right.
What is this nonsense? All I was told was to kill as many noble pipsqueaks as possible. No one said anything about the Knights of Dan Saros being on our trail.
You have proven yourself worthless, distracted by something so trivial. I had hoped you would achieve your goal despite the setback. But now a child of the Knight's former captain is in play. How interesting.
Hey, this isn't what I agreed to!
Hiring a mercenary as a professor. What was that woman thinking?
Are you listening to me? How do we finish this?
You die.
What?
Underestimating the Knights was an amateur mistake. One you will pay for. The road to eternal torment awaits you all. Now I must locate your replacements.
Wait! Get back here! Damn you!
Part 1. White Clouds. Heartstring Moon. Familiar scenery. In honor of the saints whose births or deaths took place under this moon, the people perform music once beloved by those divine beings. Whether by harp, by flute, or voice alone, joyous melodies are shared between farmers as they sow their seeds across the vast plains of Tailteen and Gronder.
Hello everyone, I'm the Tuna Whale here with another episode of Fire Emblem Three Houses. We have even more quests to explore the monastery this episode, and we get 2,000 gold from the Church of Ceros, more than last time because now we're an even better professor than last time.
As you have already been notified, your mission is to subdue some bandits. Our students have been learning about combat through study, but this is a precious opportunity to provide them with practical experience. The Knights will support your mission, and are prepared to offer their assistance if necessary. In short, this is no mock battle. You must be prepared for anything. You will receive a message from the Knights when it is time to depart. Until then, use your time wisely.
The last time we fought bandits, you saved me. Maybe I can return the favor this time.
Let's do our best.
The Knights are well aware of our enemy's strength. We can count on them to keep the battlefield under control for us. It seems unlikely that we would lose. Still, let's do all we can to prepare.
You seem well. Are you adjusting to life at the monastery?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't expect that answer. When we were mercenaries, I handled everything. Outside of battle, you didn't have much contact with people, did you? I thought being thrown into a swarm of noble brats to teach would be a bit much for you. But I guess I had nothing to worry about. By the way, I heard about those bandits. Your first assignment is to take them out, right? That's fairly routine for you by now, but don't forget it's the first real taste of battle for those brats. It'll be tougher to sleep at night if you let one of your little pupils die. So stay vigilant and lead them well. I wish I could offer you my support, but Lady Rhea won't allow it. For now, I'll try to figure out what she wants from you. I don't mind you settling into your life here, but don't let your guard down, ever.
Here we have Annette's birthday. I was gonna try to be silent, but this is something that's popping up, so I'll buy her some flowers. And here we get a calendar. As you can see, there are going to be all kinds of events. If you notice that there's a fishing hook and a fork and knife, that means there's special events like fishing and the dining hall. So let's explore the monastery. Not that we have much of a choice. Here we have the map. It's going to tell us where we're going to go. And if we look behind us, there's nothing. Yep, I wanted to show the nothing behind us, of course. What else would I want to show? Anyway, here we have Gerald talking to Leone.
Professor, hey, do you know how old Captain Gerald is?
That's enough, Leone. If I don't know, how could my child know?
It's not normal to forget your own age, you know. It's kind of worrisome, actually.
By the time you're forgetting your own age, you're past the point of caring.
I guess if you put it that way, you've got a point.
Here, Gerald has a quest for us. It's going to be going into his captain's quarters and picking up a tactics primer to try to get us up to speed on tactics. I should say this episode, like most of the first of the month episodes, will have nothing on them. Or, sorry, the first of the month episodes of, well, in-game months, they'll have no comment in it. It will just be exploring the monastery. Here we have Dorothea to talk to, and we'll be talking to each of the students there.
Oh, Professor, hello. I was just looking for my... Well, it's like a pale blue cloth. Have you seen it?
I'll tell Manuela.
Thank you so much.
We'll be meeting well, we already have met Manuela and defeated her in combat, but we'll be getting to know her more over the course of our adventure. Here we have Bernadetta in her room, like...
What is it? I'm not doing anything.
Hey, what's this cake doing out here?
Oh, come on. That's just cruel.
I know I'm cruel. I'm sorry, Bernadetta. Anyway, let's go down here to the greenhouse. We have Shamir in front, so let's talk to her.
Have we met? No. Sorry. You remind me of someone I know.
Interesting. We'll also be getting to meet her over the course of our adventure too, considering that this, I believe, is the first time we've met her. Here in Marianne, at the back of the greenhouse, examining some of the plants.
Hello. If you'll excuse me. Oh,
We can try to recruit her to her house.
Excuse me,
But
I have to go.
of course, students will just want to join your house just because they feel like it. Well, it'll take us a fair bit of work. For Marianne, we need to get up our magic stat and running stat. In the description of this video, I'll put up a link to a spreadsheet that has the various requirements for the students and who you can talk to. There will be minor spoilers for who can teach you this stuff, but no plot spoilers. Here is the greenhouse keeper. We also check on, I believe, the seeds that Dew gave us, yes. And we get some cabbage, chickpeas, turnips, and onions, which can be used to make some food. We also get become a slightly better professor, and we still only have one slot for gardening, so we might as well put the mixed herbs in there. We should also cultivate them with the fancy water. Yeah, fancy water. I would just infuse it with magic, but meh. What cultivating does is basically, if you saw in the bottom right of that menu, there was like the kinds of wheat little symbols, like little symbols of wheat, and we had 2 of them. Depending on what kind of plants they are, you might be able to increase that to be more and more, and obviously more wheat symbols means a better harvest. We have a local fish guide, and over here, I think this is a fish. Yep, it's a fish. Again, fish and food you can use in the dining hall for certain things. Because smithing stone will get more into that, but that can get us later. And we might as well go pop into the dining hall and see who's in here. We have Annette, who is right there, and let's talk to her.
I've got to find out everyone's likes and dislikes so I know what to cook. Who knows when it'll be my turn at kitchen duty? How about you, Professor? Do you like sweet or spicy food?
For me, sweet
Ooh,
food.
same. I'll definitely remember that.
We can try to recruit her. And here's something that I'm going to regret saying, but I'm not going to be recruiting any students from other houses into my house. I know, for those of you who know about what happens later in the game, you might call me a monster for that. But I'll explain more so what that means when we get to that. But again, it's going to be a long time until we get into that. Let's do some bonding bites. As you can see, we can try to boost up the morale of some of our students and try to get some support points. I'm going to be eating with Linhart and, well, because I already shot myself in the foot and saying that I'm not going to be recruiting anyone, I guess that means that I don't need to really buy students from other houses the flowers on their birthday and other things, but I'll still do it out of the kindness of my heart, even though I don't really have interest in recruiting them to my house. And I do not recommend you do that. You should definitely recruit the students who you can, because they are really helpful. And if you remember, some of the students are really good, so I suggest you recruit them to your house. But anyway, again, in the description, there'll be a quick little guide to recruiting them. I'm going to also invite Ferdinand, because even though it doesn't have those... So basically, what these little arrows, if you see the blue arrows by Aloise, Manuela, and like everyone here, it basically means that if you eat a meal with them, they'll get more motivation, which is the little, if you see in the top right, there's a little happy face, and then the slightly less happy face, but still happy. It'll increase the motivation if they like the meal. I'm going to eat with Ferdinand. Even though he doesn't like the meal, he still likes enough he'll get half a bar of motivation. So let's use up one of our activity points.
This is my favorite. I am rather happy you went out of your way to pick it, Professor.
Delicious! After a scrumptious meal like that, I feel that I can really seize the day.
Our bonds become stronger, we become a fairly better professor. Not good enough to rank up again, but that's fine. Let's go over here and talk to Petra.
Bridget has much more warmth than Fodlan. Even spring here has coolness. And you, Professor? Which do you find is worst? Too hot or too cold weather?
So the correct answer here is too cold because if you know about Petra, she's from a warm island, Bridget. So if you say the cold is worse, then you'll get some affinity points. But personally, I don't like the heat a lot.
But you are wearing many things, Professor. If you are not liking the heat, you should be wearing lighter clothes.
Yeah, but I need to have my plot armor. Anyway, here we have Cynthia sitting in the
There
corner.
were way too many vegetables in today's meal. The ratio of vegetables to sweets was completely skewed. Oh, hi, Professor. Were you just eavesdropping on me? Well, everyone knows a plate full of sweets is far preferred to a plate full of vegetables, regardless of age.
That's fair, but sometimes in life you have to make the responsible choice, not the fun choice. Ahead of us, we have one of my favorite characters in this game, because, well, you'll see once we talk to him. We also get, I don't remember what this place is, but, well, it is called, it's gonna not pop up in the bottom corner, but here we have Alois.
Oh, Professor, how are you today? I'm just heading out for a mission. I'll be seeing you. I don't need luck. This will be a piece of cake. I'll be back before you know it.
And then he leaves to go on his mission. We didn't get to see why I like that guy so much, but we'll see it soon enough. Down here we have some people we can talk to, some random Knights of
We will
Ceros.
accompany you on your assignment. We don't want anything to happen to our precious students. If any of you run into trouble, we'll step in and help out.
Awesome. And then we have Yuritsa here.
You look bored. Care to duel?
A duel?
What? I just wanted to spar.
If you say to the death, he basically says the same thing. And here we have the Gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Are you settled in here at the monastery yet? Make sure to have a good look around. There's much to see. Like fish. You do know about the pond behind the dining hall, right? You can fish there. Give it a try.
Sure, we'll fish there at least a little bit if this video isn't too terribly long. But that'll probably be one of the last things we do, considering that if last monastery video was anything to go off. Typically these videos are going to be fairly long. There's not really a lot of plot in here, but there's a lot of exposition. And they'll be talking about the current affairs of what's happening in Fodland. Here we have the marketplace. I'm not going to talk to each of the people here, but you can get items here like vulneraries, keys, whatnot. You can get weapons here if you want, for example, a new sword, or you want to buy... If you remember, I took a sword off of Petra to give to Edelgard. If I want to buy another sword, I can talk to him. We have the nothing here, and we have the nothing here. Of course, the two nothings are something more important, but we'll get to them when they open up their services to us. If you see up there, there's a little kind of like blue exclamation point. And that's one of the little things I get from DLC. I'm not really going to use them too much, but I'm at least going to show them off. And with this, we can feed the cats and dogs around the monastery. I'm going to feed one of these kitties here. Basically what you can do is you can turn your extra food into a chance to get resources. So here we have a kitty. I'm going to give him some fish. You can see, he's happy.
Thanks.
I get some reward from that. I'm going to show off what happens if you feed cats. The cat will meow. And he looks pretty full. I'm going to, I guess, feed another cat so I can actually show what can happen. He looks happy. And you see he's licking himself and there's something in his mouth. We can get a black sand steel. So you can get some interesting resources again. Again, it's kind of dumb that it's hidden behind DLC, but it's not necessary. We don't have business past here. Apparently the voice of Professor Oak, or whichever professor you pledge your loyalty to, is telling you there's a time and place for everything, but now's the time, nor the place. Up here we have Hilda.
I'm bored. Maybe I should go into town. But that would be such a hassle. Oh, hi, Professor. I'm rather busy right now, so do make it quick.
If you're busy, never mind.
Are you sure? I thought you'd found me out for a moment there.
So yeah, again, a lot of the responses you give the students is based on what they want to hear, not the responsible choice that you think you do as a professor. But let's talk to Manuela here, staring at the green orb of random squiggles underneath it.
You know, Professor, there are some things I'll just never understand. Like the other night, I went on a date with a dashing, handsome, strong young knight. Oh, I'm a bit weak just remembering him. Anyway, do you know what that no-good jerk said when we got back to my room? He said, What a mess. I'm afraid to go in there. Can you believe it? You know who cares about keeping everything neat and tidy? Not me, that's who. Afraid to go in there. Some knight he is.
Here we have the amiibo gazebo. Basically what you can do is when you skin an amiibo, you can get certain items in the monastery. Higher quality items you'll get if you the Fire Emblem amiibo you scan. Yoda I am apparently. And then each Fire Emblem amiibo also has unique rewards. Now, I don't have Fire Emblem amiibos. I only have a Kirby amiibo and a Villager amiibo, so I don't think I could scan them here. And also, I'm playing with a controller and I'm too lazy to take off the Joy-Con and whatnot to show you what it does. Here we have Tomas, someone who I don't think we've seen.
Do you know about the Cardinals? They are the ones who run the church. Their identities are a closely guarded secret.
Again, we'll get to know more about him as our adventure progresses. Let's go up here and into the sparring hall.
Hello.
Not the sparring hall, the reception hall. Yes, that place. And here I have Sylvain with a bunch of his, let's just say, friends.
Professor, you're the one taking out the bandits? That's one way to start your career at the academy. I didn't expect they'd order us to risk our lives here. Seems a bit extreme, doesn't it?
So if you remember in part 1, I recommended you play as female Byleth if you don't really care about classes. It's because, if you remember, Sylvain is quite the skirt chaser, shall we say. If you're playing as female Byleth, those are requirements that you need in order to recruit him. Let me just check what
up,
they
Professor?
are.
Hey, I got a girl waiting. Well.
You don't need charisma or reason. He'll just join you because, I mean, he's Sylvain.
The Knights of Seiros are also known as the Shining Knights. We are the sword and shield of the divine Seiros. There are many orders of knights in the world, but we are the only one that has the honor of bearing the name Seiros. As a member of the church, you should probably study up on the history of Seiros and the knights.
I'll perhaps show that at another time. Anyway, let's go over here and talk to Cyril, the hard worker.
That person sure does remind me of somebody, but I can't figure out who. Oh, do you need me for something? Sorry, but I'm really busy right now.
Alright, cool. Thanks for the story, bro. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say bro. And here we have Ferdinand with a history lesson for us.
Do you know of the Eyre family? We have long held the position of Prime Minister in the Empire. The Empire's power lies with 6 noble families, my family foremost among them. The full explanation may be time-consuming. I can give you a moment to get ready, if you would like to take notes.
I guess I'm ready. This isn't terribly long, but it's gonna take about a minute if you're really curious about the politics of the Adrestian Empire.
Alright, I will list the 6 great noble families. There's Caspar's father, Count Bergles, the Minister of Military Affairs. Then there's Linhardt's father, Count Hevering, the Minister of Domestic Affairs. Bernadetta's father, Count Varley, is the Minister of Religious Affairs. Hubert's father, Marquis Vestra, is the Minister of the Imperial Household. Finally, we have Duke Gert, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and my own father, Duke Eyre, the Prime Minister. One day, I will take his place as the Prime Minister of the Empire. I am more talented than anyone in my class, even Edelgard. I will lead the Empire to a bright, enlightened future. There is nothing I cannot achieve.
I guess there is really nothing the great Ferdinand von Eyre cannot achieve. And here we come up to the big cathedral, the main building of Garreg Mach. And there's the audience hall. Well, not the audience hall, sorry. We'll be getting to what that's actually called right now. It is the cathedral. The cathedral inside the cathedral. Yep.
There's something else. It is the duty of every Fodlan noble to demonstrate piety towards Seiros. Have you also come to offer your prayers to the goddess, Professor?
Sure.
You don't sound terribly sure. Perhaps you are not of noble birth? After all, devotion is not as essential for a commoner.
Again, I'm not going to be recruiting anyone from other houses. People who play this game are going to call me monsters. You might find out later. I'll explain why when the moment comes. But here we have Mercedes.
The cathedral is nice and quiet. It's so relaxing.
Oh, Professor, did you come to pray to the goddess?
That's
Me
right.
too. Shall we pray together?
You see, Mercedes, you're so much nicer than Lorenz, who's like, you're not here to pray to the goddess. And here we have Sedith and...
Inside
Lane.
the cathedral, there is a chapel dedicated to the four saints. Do you know of them? Saint Indec, Saint Macule, Saint Keyhole, and...
Saint Kathleen! Who is your favorite, Professor?
Now that you are a member of the church, be sure to familiarize yourself with our teachings and traditions. I have something to ask of you.
We have a traveling rumor. We can find some information in the courtyard, so we might as well do that. Over here we have the mysterious four, well, not mysterious four. We have statues of the four saints. We can examine them if we want, but all we get is just a quick little summary of them. I won't be going into those because this video is already going to be long enough.
There's something else.
Over here, you might want to check because sometimes there's something in here. Again, I'll get more into that when the time comes. And then over here, we have a little side to the cathedral. We have a well here. Sometimes there's some interesting stuff in the bucket, like some smithing stones.
That's right.
There's a little tower over here. And let's go down here to see what's over here. I don't think there's actually anything this time, but sometimes there is. Going over here. Actually, I'm going to use my fancy schmancy nothing. I'm going to go over
Here's an
and
idea.
talk to this Knight of Ceros.
I hear the Officers' Academy of the monastery was founded about 2 centuries ago. The eastern region of Fodlan was being invaded by Almyra, and so the Archbishop of the time took measures to prevent the border from being taken. In order to ensure Fodlan would be safe from potential threats, she deemed it necessary to raise a generation of excellence. That is how the establishment was founded, though its purpose has changed over the years.
Nice. Again, these monastery videos are basically going to be learning about some plot. I'm only going to be showing the first time I go into the monastery every month, not others, because it's just the same thing. We're just going to be using the various facilities in
I
there.
have a favor to ask.
We can have a passion for music. And we can use this, nothing. We can use the nothing. Yep. I wanted to show you can use the nothing, because the nothing is very important. Anyway, let's just skip travel up here to the second floor of this building. Here we are. Let's talk to this monk here.
Xanadu, the Red Canyon, is a place of great significance to the Church of Ceros. Even members of the church are forbidden from entering without permission. To go trampling around in there, causing trouble. Those bandits truly are morally reprehensible.
Really?
And then let's go down here into Gerald's room, the captain's quarters. And we get a tactics farm that Gerald wanted us to get, and we get some battalions. You can see here, getting into the inventory, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can equip items, you can equip skills, we'll get into that later. We can equip combat arts, and we can equip battalions. We'll get into that next battle. We can also change the classes of units, and we'll get into that once we can actually change the classes of our units. Let's go down here and talk to Hanneman. Yes, Hanneman.
Excellent work guiding the students in the mock battle. Taking command like that? Simply splendid. And bearing the unknown crest's power? Yes, I'm talking about you. Your talents are incredible, and Lady Rhea's insight as to your potential is doubly so.
Alright, here we have the crest analyzer. If we use it, there's some hair. It looks just like my hair. Maybe he needs a few more samples.
To have a mark of the exceptional about you. I only wish Sedith would follow your example.
I never actually knew that was a thing. Interesting. We have the crest of squiggles, of course. And let us talk to Rhea. Rhea's basically going to be in the same place almost every month. I can think of one exception to that, but basically she's always going to be here, or she might sometimes be over here. There's one month where she's somewhere else, but we'll get into that month once we get into that month. But let's talk to Rhea.
Thank you for paying me a visit. Is there anything troubling you? Or is there perhaps something I can help you with?
About the teaching
Believers
of
live their lives by her sacred wisdom. Please use the library's vast resources to learn more. I can often be found here, so if there is ever anything you need, please do not hesitate to pay me a visit.
But of course, let us go to that library right now. It is over there, and we can see some students already spending their time in there. If you see all these arrows on the wall over here, there are various books. I won't be getting into them because, again, I can see this video is already half an hour long. But
I'm so glad to be a student here, if only because I get to use this library. Reading books from all the regions of Fodlan, I feel almost like I'm visiting those places myself.
You should visit them in person.
I don't have many chances to travel.
Well, perhaps one day you might. Still hold out some hope. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, if you're a lore junkie, you should read all these books. I'm not going to for the sake of the time of the videos. We can't have another learning about the houses again. But let's talk to Linhardt.
Swimming through a sea of countless books, tracking down that single sought-after volume, it's absolute bliss. How do the poor fools who spend their days sharpening swords and polishing armor find any joy in life?
I guess you'll never know. Anyway, let's go and skip travel to the training grounds that we can't go to. Let's go to our room. Yep, we've been grounded for going somewhere we can't go. Here we are. And if you remember, the training grounds are north, and here we have Claude and Dimitri talking to each other.
Your performance in the mock battle was exceptional, Professor. You have inspired me to follow your example and study even more diligently. Perhaps we could train together sometime. I would love to test myself against your sword skills again.
Let's talk to Claude too.
I hear you've been tasked with hunting down bandits, right? Meanwhile, my class is stuck with a downright peaceful mission. Sounds like you'll be fighting alongside the knights, too. Don't let the monastery down, Teach.
Of course we won't. We're the professor here at Garreg Mach, and we won't let down Lady Rhea or anyone else who's here. Let's talk to the Jew while we're at it.
It is better if you do not approach me. If you spend too much time around a man of Dusker, there will be rumors.
It'll be fine. Now let's actually go to the training grounds and, I guess, train and ground. We can see that there are already a fair number of students here. Students who we know who like to train. We can see Felix, Caspar, Ingrid, Rafael. All of them are people who like to train.
The next assignment is to drive out bandits? Sounds like some training is in order. Tell me something, Professor. When it comes to a one-on-one battle, which is better, strength or skill?
Power.
I knew it! When it's all said and done, muscle always comes out on top.
Let's talk to Caspar.
Hey there, Professor. You here to check in on my training? Oh, that reminds me. I found this small cloth. It's kind of weird. Not really sure what it is, but it works great for wiping up sweat.
Yep. And we'll talk to her, and she'll... and yep.
And now that you're all the way over here, Professor, care to join me in some training? After training, I love tending to the horses or burying myself in a good pile of books. There's truly nothing better.
Let's talk to Felix, the sword demon.
For years, the Boar Prince and I were inseparable. I know him better than almost anyone else. So let me give you some advice. Beneath all that princely polish, he's an animal, nothing more. He's strong and skilled, sure, but don't place your trust in him as a human being. Take care he doesn't chew you up and spit you out.
We'll have to remember that for much, much later. I don't think there's anything actually to do in here, but we'll want to keep checking back, because perhaps one day there might be something to do in here. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm saying that to be coy. But I guess now that I've explained it, I'm not being that coy now, am I? Let's talk to the head chef here.
Would you kindly do something for me?
Well, I guess if you word it that way, I have to. Alright, let's go. Let's get this first off. And I guess because she had to word it that way, we have to go to the library now and pick up some books. Some books for studying. Here we have a tantalizing cookbook. Over there we have a blue sparkly book, the illustrated cookbook, and back over by the entrance we have something, a pillar that's impossible to move around. We have a classic cookbook. Now let's return back and turn in that quest to the lady who asked us so nicely to do so.
Right.
And let's turn these into the head
You're
chef.
a lifesaver.
We won't cook here because I'm going to keep my activity points open. Maybe in hindsight I should have kept one open or two open for example, if I needed to do something like choir practice, or if I needed to do the cooking with a student. But we'll get into that another week. There we have the choir sign-up sheet. Oh, here, let's talk to Dorothea about that cloth Caspar found.
Oh, Professor, hello. I was just looking for my... Well, it's like a pale blue cloth. Have you seen it?
Yep. I'm gonna just leave it at there. Where's Anna? She's somewhere around here, isn't she? Here. Something nice you can do is you can press X to locate someone. So if you're looking for Anna, you can see that she's somewhere that apparently counts as dormitories, even though it's not. Anyway, let's go over here. Oh, never mind. I thought she was in that corner.
Hello there. Are you that new professor everyone's talking about? Name's Anna. I'm a merchant who slings wares all across Fodlan and beyond. I come in here all the time, so I'm sure our paths will cross more. Hopefully, much more.
Awesome. We can always use a merchant on our side. And then let's talk to the choir practice person because we got her sheet that she wanted. Here we go. Here's your choir sign-up
My
sheet.
savior, thank you.
To explain what this is, it basically will, you pick some students, I believe 2, and then it'll up their reason, and you'll build some supports with them and the other students. But let's go down here to the student that Seth wanted us to talk to. And while we're at it, we want to talk to Edelgard, because she's right here. I believe Edelgard, yep, there we go, she is the one with the quest.
For some students, this will be their first time stepping onto a real battlefield. It's important that they're mentally prepared. As for me, do I look green to you? Is there anything else you wish to ask me about regarding spending your time at the monastery?
Nope, we're fine. We know everything. We're the best professor. That's why we're like a E plus rank professor.
I fully accept the necessity of real battle from time to time, but it is still a surprise to be tasked with punishing bandits without warning. It is a rather different sort of mission. It makes me wonder what the Archbishop is planning.
A little bit of fighting is good for the muscles. Don't actually take that advice. Don't like punch someone in the face and be like, well, Tuna said to do. No, I don't condone violence of that kind.
It's thanks to my adoptive father, Lenato, that a commoner like me is here at the Academy. He is the very model of chivalry. Someday, I'm going to be just like him.
We heard that from Ash. And then here we go to talk to the student that Seth wanted us to talk to.
Bridget, Elmira, Dusker, even people from far-off lands gather here at the Academy. Word of advice, Professor. There are those who don't think kindly of such people.
We get some intelligence of dissent. And let us talk to Seth. Seth's not here. No, he is here. Haha. It's almost like I had planned that. The marker on the map was really easy to see.
Well done. You have
anyway,
my
Seth,
thanks.
there you go. Give us the stuff, which is nice. Steel sword is actually going to be fairly nice for what's upcoming. But that's all we wanted to do in the monastery. I can see this video is 40 minutes long, so I guess there's going to be no fishing. But, I mean, you saw me do fishing earlier. But anyway, if you're playing, you might want to do some fishing. I'm not going to because there's a better time to use your bait and things like that. But anyway, I guess we'll finish this off with some cooking. We're gonna cook with, well, the only unit who will really matter with is cooking with Bernadetta. As you can see, we have all these meals here that'll grant us different buffs. We get 3 HP, strength, blah blah blah, all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna go for max HP because we're gonna be fighting some things, and this isn't gonna be like a fake battle where students will. You can't see the air quotes, but they will die. No, like in this upcoming battle, things will be a lot more vicious.
Sounds
a little
fun.
bit more survivability is
Let me
nice.
show you my cooking talent. little more secret spice, and... Hey! No peeking!
Anyway, that's all I wanted to do. Next time, we're going to be learning about another one of the big mechanics of Fire Emblem Three Houses, and we'll be seeing what the future has in store for us. See you guys then.